production.
Yes, sir. What it do? Top of the top.
Top of the top.
Another edition, man.
Orange juice and a blunt for breakfast while I read the paper. Finna hit the block. About to see some paper.
Yes, sir. Y'all know what time it is. We is the digital newspaper, fellas, man. How your morning starting out, big bro?
You know what I'm saying? Slow motion in the big old ocean. You know what I mean? But it's that Monday morning mentality. We out here up and at it.
Come on now. Monday motivation, 100%. The grit don't quit. You know what I mean? We are on the countdown to the draft. We are less than 3 weeks away from the NFL draft. So if you are rocking with us in the Gen Wealth family, please make sure you go subscribe to the Gen Wealth Net _ at YouTube. You know what I mean? Get locked in because it is fantasy season. We are fantasy football degenerates, man. We don't sleep with this shit, man, 100%. You know what I mean? So we will be firing up, wake your game up tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11:30 Eastern Time in Central. You could do the math. But yeah, man, get locked in with us. Shout out to our man Slim from a fan's perspective on YouTube, Boogie45 on Instagram, 100%. I think we in the lab tonight, 100%. You know what I mean? And he been cooking up. Make sure you go over to from a fan's perspective on YouTube, man. Get locked in because he been dropping, man, 100%. What else we got going on, Bo? I miss
Definitely got new music coming. I've been sitting on this project, but I want to add a few more joints. So I'm looking forward to that because I like the longer I wait on it. I mean, and every year I usually drop something on 420. So it might still come in time, but it's really, in the words of the late great Jack, it's really dope. Just wait on it. You know what I mean?
100%. When it's good,
really
dope.
Just
when it's
wait
good,
on
dope.
Because I wouldn't mind getting closer to the summer and dropping shit. I love dropping. I usually do drop in the summer as well. I like dropping something on 420. Just get everybody high to some new shit. You know what I mean?
Come on now, 100%. And like Big Brett said, when it's good dope. So when it's good dope, the people will wait on it 100%. They will wait, until you get off work. They will wait until you re-up. They will wait until the record store get more CDs.
I'll be there in 30 minutes.
100% in 30 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes.
You might be waiting for a cool minute, but it's really dope. Just wait on it.
Them is facts. We also got a Big Bro Peacock sale just dropped. You know what I mean? 15% off flash sale. Code word everything 15. We got
everything 15. You know what I mean? Hey, this sale is hard. Pause. You know what I mean? Get you a pause t-shirt. Get you some GWN drip. You know what I mean? Get you some GWN Simpsons inspired drip. You know what I mean? Then we got the Bo Nix joint. Man, he was killing. Man, he must have killed it with like a dozen new designs in this past week. So I couldn't even name them all off the top of my head. But check us out, neonpeacockmerch.com.
You miss facts 100% on my mama. We're gonna go ahead and get into a message from our sponsor right now before we kick up the first topic, man.
Yeah,
100%.
The garbage trucks.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all know what time it is. NeonPeacockMerch.com, man. Go slide over there, man. Get locked in, man. You know what I mean? Flash sale right now. Everything 15 promo code, man. Go ahead and go run your card up, man. You know what I mean? Go slide over to Big Brett Instagram, man. I'm telling you, man, if you want to bring something to life, he the person that's gonna do it, and them is facts.
Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? It doesn't stop there at clothing. You know what I mean? Go get you a shower curtain, a Bogey in the Matrix shower curtain. You know what I'm saying? It's not weird. Me just as a shower curtain. You know what I mean? You're just in the shower.
Oh my mama. We got ear to the streets in the building, top of the morning, big bro.
What's up, ear?
We got, excuse me. We got Bakes a lot in the building, top of it, big bro.
Big Bakes.
Let's go, man. Let's get into this first topic, y'all. It's gonna be about some Airbnb shit. So if you are a person that likes to vacation a lot and don't like to stay in a regular hotel, and you like the Airbnb and all that type of shit, watch this story for sure, man. It's gonna be some eye-opening shit. Let's get it.
And we begin tonight with an Airbnb nightmare. A family from Arkansas was vacationing in Scottsdale when they made a disturbing discovery. A hidden camera disguised as a smoke detector was right above their bed. Good evening and thanks so much. 12 News at 10. I'm Kariba Divine. Mark Curtis has the night off. This is all according to a recently filed lawsuit. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono is joining me live in studio tonight. And Bianca, the details of this story just kind of make your skin crawl.
They really do. I'm told after this family spent their first night in the house, they woke up the next morning and noticed that the smoke detector was in an unusual place. And upon closer inspection, they say they realized it was a camera with years worth of footage. This large Scottsdale home in the Paradise Heights neighborhood near Shea Boulevard.
Scottsdale's really nice.
14th
I've been to
Street is
Scottsdale.
now at the center of a federal lawsuit.
It's a very upsetting thing.
Joseph Brown is an attorney representing the victims who rented
Is it
this
echoing,
home
bro?
when it was an Airbnb in March of last year. They were
You hear
vacationing
echo?
in the valley
Nah,
from
nah,
Arkansas,
but
prepared to spend
sometimes I be having my
$2,700
screen loud in
for
and it
their
pick that
5-night
shit up.
stay. But their vacation took a
But I can't hear it on my end if you want to
first
do
night.
it.
Go on
Feel it,
vacation as
bro.
a family, and we're gonna have a great
This
time.
guy's a real perv. This is some perv shit.
A
Watch
newly
this shit,
filed
though.
lawsuit against the property owner and Airbnb says the family's 2 kids went to bed and the couple went into the primary bedroom, sharing some intimate moments. The next morning, they noticed a smoke detector directly above their bed. It seemed unusual, so they took a closer look,
Good looking, big
realizing
bro.
it was actually a hidden camera. Inside the camera, a memory card with footage of several people dating back to 2020.
I think their biggest concern was that,
2020.
what was recorded. Were their kids filmed? Is there stuff in their kids' room that they couldn't find?
They called
Top of it,
Scottsdale police
crooked.
and Airbnb
What's up, Craig?
to pack their bags and left. 12 News attempted to speak with residents at the home on Friday. Nobody answered the door, but a few minutes later, we've been trying to reach the owners. A man and woman came outside, and when we started asking questions, they said no comment.
How many people have stayed in this home and not realized that that camera was there?
In a statement, Airbnb saying hidden cameras have always been and will always be banned on Airbnb, and issues are exceptionally rare. We supported the guest and suspended the host from the platform last year, and we stand ready to assist law enforcement with any investigation into this allegation.
You've gotten more reaction from Airbnb than we have. We couldn't even get a return phone call.
Scottsdale police say their investigation remains open and active.
Very perverse reasons that someone put a camera over the top of the master suite bedroom. And I think that that's really, really shocking to me that Scottsdale PD really didn't dive into this much further.
And according to Scottsdale records, the owner of that home was cited for failing to have a required vacation rental license and for failing to respond to an emergency at their rental property. Again, the police investigation remains open and they are searching for additional victims. We're live in studio tonight. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, Bianca, thank you.
Dirty work, huh, bro?
That is nasty work, bro. And you know what's crazy is like they're probably on some websites already. You know what I mean?
Bro.
They're on some kind of website getting busy. And you know, listen, man, you know what I mean? I've rented some Airbnbs, me and my lady. You know, at one point or another, you gotta christen it. You know what I mean?
Oh man, if it's just y'all two, I know if it's
You dig?
it's
They put it in the master bedroom, and then even
every
worse, like the
room.
guy said, what if they're putting things in the kids' room? There's some weirdo shit. It's not just some extra weirdo shit. It's some double weirdo shit.
Crooked said that's in my area. I might have a case. So look, in 2019, I think we did our first Arizona draft, and it looked it looked just like that house. Oh my mama, I got the footage of the front of the house, and all. It looked just like that motherfucker.
I've been all through Arizona. I've been to Phoenix, Maricopa, Tucson. I've been to Scottsdale, and Scottsdale is balling,
bro.
Scottsdale's balling.
You been to Tucson before?
Yeah.
So I got an older cousin that used to live out there. Her husband was a fucking a professor at
Arizona. Bogey be in the trenches.
My mama, man,
allegedly at one point or another. Tucson goes down.
West Side Disc, top of the morning, big bro. He said Peacock needs a On My Mama shirt. Come on now.
Yeah. You ain't lying. And you know what's crazy? This has been said on numerous occasions.
100%. Tim is facts.
I think your Simpsons character, is he saying it? On the t-shirt? We got your, because we do got a GuchinniJD a Simpsons t-shirt. If it doesn't say it, we got to go back and remix it. On my mama.
Come on now.
With a track 7 in his hand.
Lee set up with a track 7. Oh my.
At Moe's Tavern. Like at Bo's Tavern. I'm in the background. It's me, but I'm Mo. But it's Bo.
Slide me the beer. Oh my mom.
There it is.
Lee said, my sister lives in Scottsdale on one of the most beautiful places in Arizona. 100%.
He said that. He said that. Before, yeah.
Yep. And then Crook said, I'm from Tucson. We call it Two Stone AZ.
Oh, see? Okay, he's from the hood, man.
Come on now. Oh, everything.
Shout out to Chris, man. I've been through Tucson. That was many moons ago, like 2005, maybe 2006.
That's crazy.
Definitely 2006.
On everything. But we got 5 years worth of footage because this just took place not too long ago. And then that was the only room that they found it in. Ain't no telling if they had other rooms.
And what it's like, I wonder what kind of camera it is like a motion camera. So it just starts filming immediately to this and then docking it into the memory card thing. You know what I mean? Like they said, even in this thing, they said they put the kids to sleep and then they got intimate. Like, how horrifying is that? You ever seen that Cameron Diaz movie?
Which one?
It's called Sex Tape. So her and her husband, they got a son. He's like a teenager, you know what I mean? Like, and then, you know, the teenager got a friend and they're friends with the parents and they all kick it. And then one day, Cameron Diaz and the man, they decide to spice it up and they do a little sex tape. Then he uploads it to the cloud, but he does it incorrectly, where he doesn't share it to the private, where he shares it to like their little group thing on the cloud, the little whatever woo-wop, right? So then the whole movie is trying to retrieve like iPads and get into servers. Then the kid's friend, he blackmails him. He goes, I found that video. He's like, you know what I mean? And he's like, I want a new Xbox. Like he starts giving him a list of shit. And they're like, we're not gonna let this kid hold us up for ransom. And then the kid's like, all right, boom, uploads it to like I forget what they called it in the movie. It was like a Pornhub. You know what I mean? And then so they show up to the fucking in LA to the goddamn warehouse or whatever buildings where they have the servers at. So they break into the shit, and then it's Jack Black.
Oh, it's a comedy.
It's a comedy. Then it's Jack Black. He owns the shit, right? He's like, who sent you? They're breaking into like his little, you know what I mean? Who sent you? Was it RedTube? Was it YouTube? Was it that? He starts listing off like a bazillion porn sites.
Yeah.
And then I start thinking like, damn, you get a sex tape out there, you're fucked.
100%.
Like you have to like be like, oh yeah, I'd put it up there, and then you're okay with it. But if you don't want that up there and it's up there, that's probably the most naked feeling ever, pun intended.
Hey, people get famous off them type of tapes, though.
You ain't lying. I might gotta leak some tapes out there then.
But in this case right here, though, but in this story we just seen right here, why we ain't heard nothing about the owner in jail or nothing like that? Because this motherfucker has been willingly recording people under them not knowing, you know what I mean? If people is in there in the master bedroom and you written this motherfucker out, you know what's going on in the master bedroom, bruh. 100%.
Yeah, like, okay, obviously the way it'll work probably is you got to go through all the through the evidence first to compile enough to charge bruh, right? And like, you know, bruh could probably make up a phony defense and say like, oh, well, how do you know that camera is, you know, how this camera couldn't be my client's, and then they'll have to go through every single person that rented that Airbnb.
That ain't hard.
Checks and
that
like
ain't
just
hard.
the whole thing until they find, unless he just goes and cops out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that ain't hard for the investigating people to do it.
It ain't gonna be, and 9 times out of 10 they're gonna go through all that first before they even get to him. You know what I mean?
And they said they got 5 years worth of footage. It goes back to 2020. So when the people found it, they turned that shit into the police. The police is saying the story that the police really ain't acted on them getting the SD card with all the footage. Oh my mama.
You know what's crazy too is that's the oldest trick in the book back in the days when it came to politicians. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how allegedly the JFK thing, you know, and the brothers, you know, they had Marilyn Monroe going in there fucking on all of them, and they had it on video.
Is that
like,
right?
Boom, got your ass. Yeah, real shit.
I didn't
start peeling back the layers, JD.
Hey, they had to.
It's actually, you know, it's a rabbit hole you don't want to go down.
Hey, how can you not know that the 12-inch reel is going and you can hear?
That's back then. Back then they had the old school cameras, man.
What the fuck? How you gonna?
Back then they had bruh in there just wheeling it.
Right? Like what the fuck?
Don't mind me. Do your thing.
They had to have the whole Frank Sinatra just slapping in order not to hear that shit.
They actually had Frank in there singing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Quincy Jones, he got the whole band. Quincy just
my goodness.
Busy, just so you couldn't hear that camera.
So this shit has been going on since the Rat Pack. Record shit.
And this, you don't want to see how far this thing goes up, man.
Yeah. This shit ain't cool, bro. In the Airbnb though, and you see, like me when I travel, especially domestically, even when we do our drafts, man, we at the Airbnb. You know what I mean? I'd rather be at the Airbnb than be at the regular hotel or something, because you know the medicine. You know what I mean? And plus, you get to move freely. 100%. You know what I mean? So I prefer
the Airbnb we got for this year's Vegas draft is the same one we got last year because the people was mad cool. They was with everything we was gonna do. They knew we was gonna have a fantasy draft and we're gonna have like 20 people in there.
Yeah,
and that was like, and I was like, there you go, Diamond Joe, because usually we're lying about shit like that. No, I ran it by him and said, hey, look, we got like 8 people staying here. That's the max or whatever. But we're gonna have like 20 people here for a draft. Yeah, it's cool.
Right. And see, like when you book your Airbnb, that bitch say it sleeps 16. So they already know what time it is when you booking something that sleep that many people. Now, as long as you said you keep it 100 with them when you booking that motherfucking, then another key thing is like, right, when we get the draft house or whatever, you know what I mean, man, we clean that motherfucker up. You know what I mean? When it's time to go, and as we go along, as we there, we don't be trashing that motherfucker. You know what I mean? 100%.
I always recommend to do a walkthrough with a camera, film everything how it looks beforehand, so you have a frame of reference too, just in case things get moved around or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, because you know sometimes we're gonna have a draft like, all right, we might got to change the feng shui. You know what I mean? Move some of these couches over here and move. You know what I mean?
Right. Them is facts though. It is fucked up that you got sick motherfuckers that's, you know, recording motherfuckers unwillingly or unknowingly. You know what I mean? And
there was an extra weirdo case about this like 10 years ago. It was in a Starbucks bathroom, and you know them Starbucks bathrooms, you got to go get the key or the code for it,
right?
Because it's a one-person unisex bathroom, right? So it just had a thing facing right on the toilet. So it's just this weirdo was just getting hella fools on the toilet, man.
I got it's a story saved on the playlist for us to talk about an officer in Vegas, where he had the recorder in his private bathroom for his wife and his stepdaughter or some shit like that.
Fucking weirdo.
Yeah, that officer, he been in the news for like the last year, getting arrested, doing weird shit on the job, all types of shit.
Officer weirdo.
I'm gonna put a montage to get Officer Weirdo. There it is. There. Everything. I'm gonna put a montage together of all of his clips.
Yeah. Let's do an Officer Weirdo series.
We're gonna 100%. We're gonna get him.
There's a bunch of them. We got one on tonight. It's for Slim's joint too. Everybody, be sure to go sub up to the Fans Perspective
100%
on YouTube.
Man.
It's the channel's called Boogie Vision, but you'll find it immediately if you look up From a Fan's Perspective.
Oh my mama, I got it at the bottom of the screen for the people. You got anything going out on this one, brother?
Weirdos deserve to get everything they got coming.
Yeah, 100%.
They do all kind of weirdo shit to weirdos behind the walls too. Karma's a bitch.
Yeah, definitely. And like how you said at the beginning when you was cooking him up, is that what if this shit gets out to the people or has already got out into
That's
people?
what I'm saying.
You know what I mean, like, come on now, man.
Because that's a charge, right? That's soliciting or that's unsolicited pornographic material now. You know what I mean? Like, and if he's uploading it to sites or whatever, or they or him, her, whatever, I don't know why I was just listing off hella pronouns. Anyways, whoever the culprit is, they're gonna get theirs. You know what I mean?
100%, bro. On my mama.
And let this be a lesson. When you guys get Airbnbs, do that sweep like the mobsters do.
Oh yeah.
You got to sweep to make sure the whole thing ain't bugged.
They got little things where you can point out hidden cameras. On my mama, so like that'll reflect off that camera on everything. I have seen that. Oh, word. Okay, and then they had a little mirror thing to. Okay, that's what he was saying. No, well, I think them people just the way that the smoke detector was placed, it was placed over the bed in a weird spot. It wasn't supposed to be over the bed. You know, it's supposed to be a good angle. On everything. Facts. Fucking weirdo. That's some dark web shit, man. 100%. Facts. On the dark web, the motherfuckers would be streaming live and shit for all we fucking know. Everything. Top of the morning, Cuzzo Kia. What's up, Cuzzo Kia? We got half of the Ignorant Thinkers podcast in the building. What's up, Ron? What's up, Ron? Top of the board to you. Oh, now let's get into this next joint, man. There's some I think they call it the Castro Valley Avengers. The CVAs? Uh-oh. Talk about it.
You may remember last week we told you about what seemed like a simple break-in case. Surveillance video caught burglars smashing into Crush Comics, a bookshop in Castro Valley. The suspects got away with dozens of valuable comic books and other items. Well, a few days later, the Alameda County Sheriff's Department made an arrest, even announcing a suspect had been linked to a robbery at another store. But it turns out it wasn't just a couple of isolated break-ins. There were at least 3 other burglaries over several weeks at comic shops and toy stores across the East Bay. And here's the kicker. It wasn't the police who tracked down the suspect. Katie Nilsson explains how an employee at the Castro Valley comic book store cracked the case.
A brazen thief who doesn't try very hard to cover his tracks, and a ragtag group of detectives who are hot on his trail. It sounds like it could be the plot to a new comic book series, but actually, this is the true story of the Castro Valley Avengers.
Big.
Crush Comics store manager Cole Sanders and owner Josh Hunter never thought they'd find themselves as real-life comic book vigilantes.
It's wild. It's so funny.
Like, why are they showing their secret identities?
It's like
they're breaking the rules, man.
We got some clues.
But that's exactly what happened after the shop was burglarized in the early morning hours of March 22nd.
When I got down here, I was like, okay, it's not as bad as it could be. I'm going to try to be really positive about this.
The burglar cleared the wall where the most valuable comic books were displayed. Josh thought they were gone for good until one of his employees spotted a very specific comic book for sale on eBay less than 12 hours after the burglary.
This is the one that really, solved the case. The absolutely unique one-of-one sketch cover from our artist friend Dan. When I saw that on eBay, I was like, I'm just going to buy that and see what happens. And we got the guy's name and address and everything, and there it was.
From there, Josh went to an Instagram page for someone with the same name and found this, a Lego Bandit figurine offering to buy, sell, or trade Lego sets in the East Bay. plus a photo which looked very similar to the mystery man in the hoodie on the shop's surveillance video. The honorary detectives didn't stop.
He got
there
that Squidward
and
nose.
contacted a
That's what
computer
caught his
shop in
ass.
San Leandro that has also been broken into recently.
I told him, and I was like, hey, we found this eBay page.
Oh, my mama,
They
that's what
looks
got his ass.
almost certainly like they stole some of our stuff. You should check too. And they got back to us and they were like, yeah, there's like 10 of our books on there right now. And I was like, wow, okay.
When they saw Lego items on the eBay page, they reached out to a toy shop in San Ramon that had recently lost a number of valuable sets to a shoplifter.
I smell trouble.
She's like, do you think this is him? And she sent me a picture of the guy that they had, and he wasn't mass in this one. And based on the Google searches and stuff that we did, we're like, okay, this is probably the guy.
They turned the information over to police, and just a couple days later, another toy shop was hit.
And my wife and I are looking at each other, and same thing. They broke the window, they got in, they sold a bunch of stuff and left. Do you think this could be the same guy? So I go to message them on Instagram. We had already had a message from them saying that, hey, we think it's the same guy.
The very next day, the Alameda County Sheriff's Department served a search warrant at the home of 29-year-old Narula Amiri of Livermore, where they say they found tens of thousands of dollars of comic books, collectibles, and
Look at all them Legos,
sets.
bro. We was
The
just talking
majority
about
of which
Legos.
will return to their respective stores.
Like more
Everybody's really appreciative. Everybody's really cool. We have now like a little text group chain of shop owners talking about it.
Reflecting on the entire experience, you know the Castro Valley Avengers could only do one thing, quote, another comic book superhero.
What did Peacemaker say? Who knows why crazy men do the things that they do? Yeah.
Josh and Cole say they're now actually thinking about publishing their own comic book series based on the break-in and subsequent detective work.
Capitalize, man. Capitalize, man.
Turn
Turn a bad situation into a good one.
Harder to catch.
Let's get it, man.
Badass. You know me, I'm a nerd. I like that shit.
Come on.
And you know what's crazy is like, man, growing up, comic book stores and card shops, they were everywhere.
100%.
So like the fact that those are far slimmed down, like marginally, right? They're all gone. They're like far and few. Shout out to my man AJ. He actually got one in Dansville. But see, here's one of my point is that like this is a tight-knit community. So when you start hitting all these different shops, it ain't nothing but in the Instagram little DM. You know what I mean? Like, and then, you know, all the similarities, like, plus, like, when you're trying to make money off this shit now, you have to, like, cold sell these things. You know what I mean? You got to go and you got to go and find people that'll give you cash for this shit. Because once you know, so he was going to the shops. But then once you go to the shop, you have all these missing items that are real specific. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just go in there and grab all the books. He went in there and grabbed the ones that were worth shit. You feel me? Right. So it was a real specific list of items that were missing. They go to Brett's house, he got all of them. You know what I mean? Like, dead to rights.
Man, that motherfucker said that the Spawn cover was a one of one. Our homie is the one that will wop this, and that's the one that they found on eBay and knew automatically.
Exactly, because that's a 1-on-1. See, and he fucked up. He probably didn't know that he had a 1-on-1 either. Right. Otherwise, that would have been one of those ones like you know what I mean? You sell that one off the books. You feel me?
100%.
You find a collector and be like, this is what I got. You know what I mean? But it got to be, you could authenticate it, all the shit. You know what I mean? Well, actually, it'll be hard. You authenticate a 1-on-1, it's probably already authenticated or graded or whatever the fuck the term is. You know?
100%. That's how you get the value. That's how you know the value to sell the motherfucker. You know what I mean? And then remember, like a couple of weeks ago, Johnny was mentioning the Tom Brady story about the jersey. You know what I mean? Same shit. One of
one. Trying to sell a 1-on-1? It's like, you know, how did you get this?
To the public, though. Oh, everything. How did you get this? You fucking
idiot.
Oh, everything. And you done been hitting multiple stores and you got all this shit at your house.
See, and that's the thing, too, is like, you really got to know like some underworld like overlords or some shit. You feel me? Like somebody that's just like a kingpin. You know what I mean? Like just got hell of cash. Like, yeah, I want that. I'll buy that. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, shit, when we did the Joe Burrow, when they got his house got hit, you know what I mean? It tied all the way back to New York in the Diamond District to where them motherfuckers was the fencers for the stolen jewelry. You know what I mean? You gotta know somebody to take the shit to, you know what I mean? 100%.
Yeah, unless you know how to do it yourself, right?
Yeah, right.
melt the woo wops down.
Right, but 100%. But you can't melt down no comic book. You got to know somebody to take that shit to. You can't put that shit on the public site. 100%. You got to know somebody. You know what I mean?
And I would hope that he had care for these items too. Because you know what I mean? Like when you're hitting the lick, I'm pretty sure you're not really, say you got jewels and all this shit, whatever, you throw it in the bag or whatever. Like, this is some comic books and shit that are like, you know what I mean? The value is in the condition. So it's like, you know what I mean? He out there just like real gentle with it or something. Like,
he has to be because he knows what he's dealing with. 100%. That's just like the motherfuckers that be taking them paintings in them movies. You know what I mean? Even though they slide that bitch out of that motherfucker, but you know what I mean? You know what you coming to take. So you can't damage the motherfucker because you ain't gonna get all the dope.
I love
everything. Yeah, he's an idiot though on everything. That motherfucker hit multiple stores, and then once it got around, and that motherfucking Squidward nose was sticking out. Mask. Oh yeah, he was done.
Even with the mask, it just you see that nose protruded through that mask. Come on,
it was a wrap, bro. On everything. I'm glad that the motherfuckers they got their shit back for sure. You know what I mean? Because that's the type of shit that when somebody come in there, even though it take a one person to buy the motherfucker as well too, though, because they be trying to add that to their collections and shit like that, and that shit don't sell hella fast like that. You know what I mean? So that's a big part of they. That's just like the motherfuckers that be go hitting them shoe stores, them little boutiques and shit. You know what I mean? They'll go try and hit for all the big, all the exclusive shit. You know what I mean?
Hey, remember when this is terrible, but it was happening. Remember when all the riots was going down in 2020, and then like this reporter, she was outside. All these motherfuckers was hitting this collector shoe store, like it was like a sneakerhead shop. And then this kid, he's just in there showing his inventory. Yeah, you know what I mean? And this and that, and then she's like, you don't think that you're just capitalizing on, on everything that's going on? Then he's like, he's throwing all these shoes in the car, right? And he's like, first of all, it's against crimes. Again, I mean, it's against police brutality. You know what I mean? And they're like, he was like, Dad, this fool is using this shit. There's a hell of them, bro, just licking the fuck out of the store.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, come on
now.
You know what I mean? I'm sure those Jordans and all those other shoes that you got is definitely helping against the fight of police brutality.
Come on now. Oh, everything. Yeah, man. And that them shoe stores is one of the hottest things that them motherfuckers be hidden, because I got stories saved of all that of that type of stuff all through this motherfucker. 100% all through the country.
Hey, back in the days, I had the homie. This was his signature maneuver. He go up in that woo wop, try the shoes on, and he's out. Pew!
Oh, everything.
And then he used to do that shit all day. Never got caught. I was like, yo, bro.
I got a story where they hit the train. I got a story where they hit the train. On my mama, they opened up one of the carts on the train and took like 200 pairs. On my mama. I want to say it was in Arizona. But I got that. We might do that shit one of these shows later on.
I like the good heist stories. Those are always fun.
Oh, they got caught too though. On my mama, they got caught. Sure. Oh, everything.
You know what I mean? It's whenever you have a multitude of things that you have to do to pull this lick off, it requires a lot of parties, and that's where you're already doomed for failure, because like. Unless you have a fucking vetted ass crew that's just gonna never say shit, you know what I mean?
Oh, every day.
More than likely, it's usually recruiting. Like, hey, I know a guy who can da. We just gotta cut him in, and he'll give us this and blah. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the next thing you know, you got the two men who came up with it. Now you got the 6 men involved that you need, and then boom, it only takes one of them to go down or slip up,
and it's a wrap.
Singing.
And everybody got to go there.
Yeah, real talk. And because here's the thing, it's not like you're boosting gold bricks now or cash. You're boosting shoes, and you got to flip these to cash. You know what I mean? Or in this case, the comic books, all that. Like, you're just further leading yourself to a trail to get got. You know what I mean? Like, it just almost. especially because where do people go to sell their items these days?
Come on now. They're going to go to the shoe store. They're going to go online. They're going to go to the pawn shop. The pawn shop is definitely, if you still.
That's probably the pawn shop. That's probably the best way to go for them. But still, unless you know the person, otherwise they're going to get your information.
100%.
You got to be of age, so they need to see your ID. Then when they give you a receipt, it's going to have you're in some kind of database, I would imagine, even if it was just for the shop. You know what I mean?
Top of the morning, King D.
King D.
Yeah, them is
LBC the thing.
And if that shit's stolen, you know what I mean, bruh, the police get wind of it. You know what I mean? They get the pawn shop. They got to report certain items and shit like that. Keep track of the items that they take in. And now if the police,
unless you're a slick pawn shop guy and someone comes in with the comic book and he knows what that is, right? Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and just give you cash for this right here. You know what I mean?
Outside, meet me around the corner.
Right. That'd be the best way, because most people would know. Most people would know, and it ain't nothing but a Google search anyway. If not, you know what I mean? Like, he was going straight to the card shops where it's like now he had to worry. He didn't even bother to go outside of the Bay.
Right.
And where he's at geographically, Livermore, Livermore's like 30 minutes from San Ramon. He hit a joint there. He hit a joint in
Castro.
That he's about like 45 maybe minutes from there. You know what I mean? He was like in this perfect little geographical area where he can just hit all the different joints around there. But man, what do you think? If somebody's at one shop looking for a certain item, and they go, "Oh, let me go call my guy at Woo Whoop Shop." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these communities are super tight knit. Is my point. You know what I mean? Like, and he was over there just trying to ping, doorbell ditch him.
And keep it all in the same area, and then sell it online to where somebody in the same area can see the shit.
And then have that nose.
Oh, straight idiot. Oh my mouth.
Like, listen, you got one of the most distinctive noses ever. You can't be out there on camera robbing shit.
100%. On my mama. Yeah, them comic book card stores was definitely a big part of my childhood, big bro. I definitely agree with you on that 100%, man. That was the hang. And plus the one that I used to go to as a kid was right across the street from the liquor store that had the Street Fighter. Oh my mama. Right. You had the best of both worlds on everything, especially if you had a couple of dollars in your pocket, man. You could go buy cards and play the game. Oh, it's a wrap. And get candy. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had a joint in the east side San Jose. It's a McDonald's that does not have a drive-through, and it's like in a plaza, which oddly enough, right? Because I have never in my whole life, this is the only McDonald's I've ever seen without a drive-through.
I don't think I've ever seen one like that.
So there was the McDonald's, then there's there's like a Pizza Hut right next to it. Pizza Hut had little machines in there. Then there across the street, there's a round table. But then back on the other side where the Pizza Hut, there's a Save Mart. And then right next to that Save Mart, we had the comic book store. So we was just all, you know what I mean? And then we had the liquor store across the street. All them joints had machines, though, back in the day. You know what I mean? You could even go to the Asian market, and they got Mortal Kombat back in there back in the day, or like the Neo Geo machines, where it has like the Samurai Showdown and all the other Fatal Fury, and you know what I mean? Neo Geo had some joints back in the day.
Fatal Fury was the shit, bro.
You feel me?
Oh my
Fatal Fury, Samurai Showdown. Samurai Showdown, I remember, was like a super different game to play, like mechanically, because it was like for the sharper, conceptual game fighters. You know what I mean? Like,
was Fatal Fury or the one where you could suplex the dude and he'll spin around and then he'll land on his head?
In the Fatal Fury?
In the Fatal Fury.
The
one in the you could beat.
If I remember correctly, Fatal Fury had it had like Terry Bogard. That's where the Bogard name derives from.
Come on now.
Yeah, Terry Bogard was my guy, and then he had Joe Higashi. He was like a Muay Thai fighter. Yeah, if I remember correctly, I might be confusing the game, but yeah, those were all made by SNK though, and SNK was like Capcom's rival. You know what I mean?
Oh wow!
Like a lot of the original creators that were in Street Fighter, they branched off, went over to the op, and they started like trying to duel Capcom with other fighting games. You know what I mean? Yeah, so when you look at SNK shit, it's like it's strikingly similar to all the Street Fighter shit. But then at one point they made them all fight in one game. You know what I mean? That was my shit too. Capcom versus SNK Part 2. That was my. I used to fucking gamble on that shit.
Let me see if this is the one right here. I don't got no.
Like we had the arcade sticks at the crib, and I remember my girl. This is when I was first. I remember I was first seeing my girl, and then we'd be playing the game, and then when the intro comes on, 2001, and blah, blah, that was like because that was when the game came out, and then like this is 03 at this point, and she's like that game. You still be playing an old ass game? I'm like, no, we'll play this game for fucking ever. You know what I mean?
Come on now.
I don't give a fuck if this shit came out in 2001. This is like, she didn't understand how epic it was though, because that's the two major companies coming together for a second time. Because the first time they came together, it was like there was nuances. It was more nostalgic, like, oh, cool, they made them, but then they didn't have all the characters. So like when that part 2 came out and they changed the little format up, it was, that one was the one.
Yeah, this ain't the game I'm talking about. Oh my mama! But I pulled it up though. Right when I pull it up, it got a picture. The boy Bogard.
Yeah, Terry Bogard. Yep. Yeah, they're actually adding him into the Street Fighter. That thing right now, it's Street Fighter 5. So you know how it is online now. They'll just every so often they'll add another character. So like they added Terry Bogard. So now he's in the Street Fighter world officially.
That's federal.
Yeah, I used to wear the bubble vest and everything, Red. Like in my early rap videos and shit.
Yeah, he got the red one on right now.
Exactly. Come on. He's with the shit.
Damn, I wonder
what got the gloves on with the cutout woo wops. He got the truck. It looked like he's rocking a trucker.
Oh, my mama, he is. Facts. Damn, I wonder what the game is I was thinking about. Oh well.
So that might be one of the characters from that game, though.
No,
this ain't it. That game, you know what I mean?
No, I don't think this is it. Because this shit, because the gameplay is different. The game, the style of the game.
Do you remember? Was it an arcade game?
Yeah, it was an arcade game for sure. Bakes a lot said 007 GoldenEye 64. You motherfucking right, big bro.
Yeah, that shit went crazy. I mean, outside of Doom, like Life After Doom, it was GoldenEye that really set it off for the first person shooters. For me at least, because GoldenEye, I wouldn't fucking with no Doom. But I remember all my older cousins and shit. Plus, also, I hated playing on the computer with the D-pad. You know what I mean? Or not the D-pad, without a D-pad. You played with the arrows and shit. But then, like, they came out with that GoldenEye. That shit was crazy on the N64. And you can play with 4 homies right out the gate.
Right out the gate. Me and my cousins, man, we used to play that shit all day.
The little mini motherfucker, bro. That's who I used to always pick him.
The GoldenEye?
Yeah, GoldenEye. They had like a little midget dude. Excuse me, a little person. But like I would pick him because you couldn't really hit him real good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just remember just running around that motherfucker trying to kill each other. Oh, every day.
Yeah, that's the game. That's when we would play where everybody versus everybody type of shit.
Oh my mama. Facts.
Yeah, GoldenEye. Yeah, that was like a couple years later. Halo came out, right? Halo.
I never got into Halo.
Me neither. And like by this point too, they're all playing online and shit. Man, I was like, I used to get mad at the homies sometimes, but man, what the fuck are we doing tonight? Oh, we gaming, bro. They got the whole clan is gaming. I just didn't get it at first. You know what I mean? It was pretty funny though, because then we would do like LA trips, and then we would meet up with other fools, and then it would be like the first time they were meeting them, because then they were playing with them on Halo for hella years.
Oh,
online.
wow.
This is their clan members from like down south. You know what I mean? And then I was just like, yo, that's crazy. To me, it was crazy. But then here I am, like in 15 years later, or actually, 20 years later, doing the same shit, but in a different way.
Come on now. Oh,
yeah, and I was like, and some of those fools were hella cool too. But it always tripped me out. I'm like, hey, you met these fools on Halo, and we're just going, what if they rob us? Like, that's the first thing I'm thinking of. Like,
I wonder if that comic book store that we just seen had video games. Because sometimes they be having that shit like that on everything.
I mean, a lot of those places end up buying. I mean, look at those barcades that started popping up, because then you could just go on and find all those old shops that closed down. They were selling all their machines. You know what I mean?
On everything.
Go to a motherfucking Golfland. Or you can go to a Golfland right now and probably buy a machine that they got.
I need the Ninja Turtles.
go to Nichols. Remember Nichols? Oh, you guys didn't have Nickel City up here, huh? So we had a Nickel City. It was like a string of arcades called Nickel City. So like you go in there, you put $1, you get fucking whatever the 10 nickels. How many nickels is in $1? Like 25. Right. So boom. And it's to play the premier games, like all the new shit, it's 3 nickels. You know what I mean? And then if you go back they had a second room, and that second room, all free games. So you had like the Ninja Turtles game, the Simpsons game, like all the old games from the 80s and shit, and in the early 90s.
Classic, bro. I love that shit too, bro.
Right?
The Simpsons and Ninja
Turtles.
Simpsons
game was dope. You stand next to another character, then they pair up. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like a team up shit.
Facts. My mama. You got anything going out on this one right here?
You know, whenever we hear people getting licked or like, you know, the banks getting robbed, this is the first time I feel bad for hearing about like, no, that's fucked up. Don't do it to the comic book stores.
Right.
Fucking my childhood up.
Them is facts. But you like we seen though, you know, these motherfuckers, they be knowing what they be coming to for 100%. And that motherfucker,
all the shit is posted online.
Yeah,
you better just go online and look at somebody's inventory 9 times out of 10 and be like, all right, boom, they got this over there.
Everything.
You know what I mean?
100%.
You could even send somebody up in there. Unless they said he was doing all this by himself though, huh?
I think so. I don't remember them saying anything about somebody else being with him on everything.
Yeah, because because you know what's tedious? Searching for the items in there. So like I would want to know where everything's at. So I'm pretty sure he did 100%. Some kind of reconnaissance work going in there, asking for certain items, you know, probably just doing the stupidest shit ever. That's why I said if he had someone else, he could send those. But then that would raise a red flag too. Like, hey, someone came in here asking for these certain items, you know, just so you can see where the placement is. Oh yeah, we have one of those. Or they might pull it out of a safe or something. You go, oh shit, they got it in the safe. Okay, we'll take the whole safe then. You know what I mean? Like, you feel me? Like, you're gonna go in there. There's a lot of shit in there. You know what I mean? Like, you would have to know where every item is because you got to get in and out that motherfucker fast.
No, them is facts. He definitely did some type of homework on them places. And all they got to do, he ain't even got to ask about nothing. He could just, or not just ask about something. He could just come in there and be like, man, let's negotiate. And then, you know, he pump faking on the negotiation, just, you know what I mean, doing bullshit. And he knows shit, you know what I mean? All types of little punk shit. Oh, my mama.
You know, funny too, no matter what, he had that nose. You know what I mean? There's just no way to get that nose on the camera.
That's nice.
And they got it from the silhouette too.
Oh my facts. Oh, everything. That shit is crazy. Oh my mama. Let's get into the next one. Ear said, I just purchased our Las Vegas picture 10x14 for the podcast wall. That's what's up, big bro.
Oh, that's what's up. That's badass.
Big bro said, check out.
Okay, got a nice little frame move up.
Facts.
Little frame canvas.
Check out Neon Peacock merch right now. That's right, big bro. 100%.
And what's the sale again? He said everything 15.
Everything 15 is a promo code. Bless you.
Thank you.
100%. Bake said my arcade game of choice was Metal Slug. If they got that, if play that game till I left. Oh my mama, excuse me.
Dang, I've never heard of that game. You know what's a badass game I've never heard of? So look at this. In the 80s, they came out with a game called Narco. And it's like you're a narcotics agent and you're just murdering drug dealers, just shooting shit up, doing raids. And this is the game. It's an arcade game. It was like bloody as all hell. And they had curse words. And the parents were fucking outraged. So then like me being an arcade head in the 90s, I never saw that game because they took it out of all the arcades.
I don't remember that.
See what I'm saying? They took it out of all the arcades.
Wow.
Yeah, but when he said Metal Slug, I'm like, I wonder if it's.
I wonder if that game.
Made me think of the Narco.
I wonder if anybody did a documentary on that on YouTube.
That's where I saw that.
Is that right?
Yep. I went through like a video game rabbit hole. Remember we did that woo wop with Slim back hella months ago.
Yeah.
On the new Nintendo thing, and then so I maybe start going down the rabbit hole some Nintendo shit. I found this cool channel. This dude, he's like a half white Japanese kid, but he grew up in Okinawa. He was like a military kid. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then moved around all kind of shit. But like, you know, he's just a super hardcore video game head. And this fool does all these crazy breakdowns of different video games and Nintendo shit. But yeah, when I was going down that rabbit hole, I found some shit on Narco. I was like, what? They got a Narco game? Like, I was thinking like the series, but it was like, I'll find it. I'll send you it. Shit's pretty badass. Yeah, but it was one of those first in the 80s. They're getting the parents were outraged. That was like the outrage for parents era started. You know what I mean? They didn't like the NWA music. They didn't like certain video games kids was playing. They didn't like, you know what I mean?
On my mouth.
They were all against the slasher movies too. Couldn't stop that. Hollywood was making way too much money.
That shit is crazy. Narco. Man, I gotta go find that shit, bro, on everything. Because I definitely don't. And what Bake said too, though. On everything. Real talk. 100%, man. Give me a second. Yeah, I was just about to text him right now.
Yeah,
my mama.
For sure.
I'm gonna send the link.
Oh, is it in the thread? The link? It's this Slim. I got Slim right here.
Yeah. I was just about to text him right now. I seen that he was calling.
Cool. Peace. He about to send it. There it is.
My mama.
Oh shit! Did you send me the link direct this morning?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Okay, there it go right there. Moving too motherfucking fast this morning, man. 100%. But yeah, let's get in. You know what? We'll give Big Bro a few, and let's go ahead and play. Let's play a song because I saved the best topic for last.
Nice.
We'll give Big Bro a second to get up in here. We'll play a video from our Big Bro right here, man. Oh my mama, let's get into it. One of my favorite songs.
One at once, baby. Blast from the past back to our roots. Dash for the cash, stack in the blue. Fletcher Reed, I'm the absolute truth. Big dreams, so we have to pursue. Strapped with a tool. Feel the wrath of my crew. Clock switch when my palms itch. Beat off the hate, going hard in the paint. If your name ain't God, I don't answer to you. Look to me. Bogard, Scott free. Luckily, I got the answer for you. Seen it trying like a South. Look young, I got the password for you. Feeling like game. Smoke a backwood with you, smoke a back with it too. Show you how to maintain, so you never go astray. I done laid it on the path for you.
There we go. That's Rose Gallery, brought to you by none other than our man Bogard Scott Free. 100%, man. You can find him on Apple and Spotify at Mr. Bogard Scott Free. 100%, man. Go tap in with Big Bruh. 100%. Go running shit up. Top of the morning, Big Bruh.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
There he is.
Let's see. Let's pull your shit up right now. What's going on, man? Let the people know where they can find you at, Big Bruh.
Oh, me? Oh, from the fans' perspective. You know what I mean? On YouTube. You know. That's some got an episode popping off later on today.
I dare anyone to try to out hustle my man Slim right now.
See what I'm trying to do what it do, man.
Written, man. The grit don't quit.
Top of the morning to you, Slim.
Yes, sir.
We started dummy late too. I didn't realize that. I was like, oh shit, I just thought of it right now. I was like, because I was texting JD back and forth on the side, and I didn't realize I wasn't in the OJ thing. So I was like, shoot me the link. Got you. And we just fired this thing up. I was like, oh shit, bro. Gotta send it to Slim.
Come on now, 100%. We got Warrior Dina in the building. He said Bogard got some heat. Top of the morning.
Appreciate it.
Everything. Let's get it, man. Fucking, I say the best one for last too, bro. This is that shit that I sent y'all the other day about that fucking police department that they might make
that they abolish. Oh no, that's tonight.
Everything. Here we go.
Police department is now being called a criminal enterprise after the chief of police and 4 officers were hauled off in handcuffs, arrested on drug-related charges and tampering with evidence. WAFF 48's Noah Cowell has more on why those officers are considered a threat to public safety.
This investigation started when Chris Willingham was found dead from an overdose while he was on the job at the 911 center in August. We now know that he died with a cocktail of drugs in his system, including fentanyl. As of today, we learned that some of those drugs came right from the Hanceville Police Evidence Room, which has now sparked a massive drug and corruption investigation.
There is a rampant culture of corruption in the Hanceville Police Department, which has recently operated as more of a criminal enterprise than a law enforcement agency.
The Hanceville police chief, 4 of his officers, and an officer's wife are all facing a variety of crimes from felonies to misdemeanors. Eric Kelso is accused of giving Adderall, hydrocodone, and anabolic steroids to 2 fellow officers, Cody Kelso and Jason Wilbanks. Eric and his wife Donna are both charged with drug distribution and conspiracy. Police Chief Jason Marlin is accused of knowing about at least some of these issues and failing to report them.
These officers find themselves on the opposite end.
Any thoughts on that? This is the second part of the video, I think. Any thoughts on that so far?
Man, they doing some gang shit, mob shit.
Some dirty shit, man.
They're doing they're enterprise. They're enterprising.
Word, like, I mean, but you said one of them, okay, it was one of them that got found dead with like a cocktail pause in their system, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I got the t-shirt, so we're all covered.
So they was getting high.
Oh my mama. On the job.
They was getting high.
You got the dude, this is the guy that's taking the 911 calls. Oh no, he's a dispatch. Sending the police to and fro. He could be the one sending them busting out hitting knocks too, for all we know. They running the enterprise. Now my mind's going elsewhere. Like they're moving work. Then they got an unlimited supply, so to speak. They just bust somebody. Then they go into that little woo-wop in the evidence room, but they cut a hole in the wall.
There it is. We about to
Cut a hole in the wall, man.
We about to get to that right now, but I'm glad you said the motherfucking enterprise, man. Let's fire it back up.
End of the laws they were sworn to uphold.
In today's news conference, District Attorney Champ Crocker highlighted the lack of security in the evidence room, releasing photos of a massive hole carved out to the room.
Uh-oh. It done froze up on us.
Yep, all good.
Let's see.
Take 2.
Take 2.
The 6 who were charged are currently out on bond. Now, the district attorney said that he won't go into any specifics on what caused Willingham's death, but they do attribute much of it to the lack of security in that evidence room, which Willingham did have access to on the day that he died.
Damn. Okay, I got an idea. Give me a second. Let's take this off. Let's remove that. So you got, they said you got 4 officers and one of the officers' wives on the indictment. And one of the people that's being arrested is the chief of police and knowingly and willingly allowed the shit to happen on his watch.
He's getting a cut.
100%. And it says
they're
that
all high. I'm sure they're all high. I mean, bruh just died because he went overboard. You know what I mean?
100%. And that was, like you said, that was the dispatcher who ended up dying. 100%.
The Delphine fucked it all up for them, man.
And I think he was the one that they got on video going through the wall, because they got the video of the motherfucker.
He was itching, bro.
100%.
He was probably the first one. Like, I'll be the dispatch. I'll stay back. They got him on the CCTV going in and out that motherfucker.
That's crazy. So like I didn't see the first half. Like what was they doing? Like just
I'm finna pull it up right now. There we go. So the reason why they got caught is because somebody died on the overdose.
Yeah, there's an officer that's just getting high.
Well, no, this guy that died is the dispatch officer.
Yep. And then boom, of course, now they got to go in there and do an investigation.
Is now being called a criminal enterprise after the chief of police and 4 officers were hauled off in handcuffs, arrested on drug-related charges and tampering with evidence. WAFF 48's Noah Cowell has more on why those officers are considered a threat to public safety.
This investigation started when Chris Willingham was found dead from an overdose while he was on the job at the 911 center in August. We now know that he died with a cocktail of drugs in his system, including fentanyl. As of today, we learned that some of those drugs came right from the Hanceville Police Evidence Room, which has now sparked a massive drug and corruption investigation.
There is a rampant culture of corruption in the Hanceville Police Department, which has recently operated as more of a criminal enterprise than a law enforcement.
Is that shit
agency.
playing normal, y'all, or is
The
it
Hanceville
lagging?
Police Chief, officer's wife are all facing a variety of crimes from felonies to misdemeanors. Eric Kelso is accused of giving Adderall, hydrocodone, and anabolic steroids to 2 fellow officers, Cody Kelso and Jason Wilbanks. Eric and his wife Donna are both charged with drug distribution and conspiracy. Police Chief Jason Marlin is accused of knowing about at least some of these issues and failing to report them.
These officers find themselves on the opposite end of the laws they were sworn to uphold.
In today's news conference, District Attorney Champ Crocker highlighted the lack of security in the evidence room, releasing photos of a massive hole carved out to the room where people had unauthorized access to evidence like drugs. A picture even shows a man using a broomstick to jimmy the door to get inside.
This evidence room was routinely accessed by individuals who were not authorized to do so, going in and out using this stick through the hole in the wall.
Evidence for several cases is now legally tainted and can't be used in trials. The Coleman County Grand Jury recommended the city shut down its police department entirely. If that happens, the Coleman County Sheriff Matt Gentry says his department is ready to step in to help.
We would take over all responsibilities from patrol in that area, investigation in that area, dispatch, and or the jail. Of course, you know, we have the jail here where we run over 400 inmates a day.
The 6 who were charged are currently out on bond. Now, the district attorney said that he won't go into any specifics on what caused Willingham's death, but they do attribute much of it to the lack of security in that evidence room, which Willingham did have access to on the day that he died. Reporting in Coleman County, Noah Cowell, 48 News on your side.
Okay, there you go.
Let me show you why I stopped paying.
Check this out, though. It gets deeper.
Yeah,
so,
100%.
like, they're trying to abolish that entire fucking precinct.
Yeah. So I got I'm gonna play the next one.
Oh, okay, we got the next clip. Okay, word.
Give me your thoughts on this so far, though.
And for context, it's just a small ass town. You know what I mean? They're doing some big
How much
shit.
they get paid?
The population is only 3,000 people in this town.
Oh, they're not getting paid no bread.
And it's like 98% Caucasian.
They not getting paid no bread like that, man.
Okay, here we go, right here, yeah. So it's another one that's in the that's kind of like, this is the latest update, and there's another one that's like a little bit before this one right here. But let's get straight to the update, like how Bogey was saying about them taking the police out, the whole department.
They're on administrative leave as of right now. The mayor will make that decision. That's on his office that make that decision how long, and the Sheriff Matt Gentry has graciously gave us the ability that he's going to give us some more protection, which is a unit in our local jurisdiction at all times and without being any extra compensation. So that will be able to let us continue to pay them
So
for a
the
little
whole
bit longer
department is on administrative
our
leave,
pay.
even people that didn't have nothing
New
to do with it.
developments tonight out of
Wow.
Bill. In a letter obtained by ABC 3340, Mayor Jim Sawyer apparently terminates all police department employees on administrative leave effective today.
And the employees had to
Damn.
be on paid leave
Hand
as
them
5
all.
officers, including the chief, were indicted. ABC 3340's Megan Scarano has stayed on top of this story. And Megan, this contradicts what was discussed at Monday night's meeting.
Muriel, on Monday night, the city council voted to rebuild their police department. It was discussed that the employees on paid administrative leave would stay on paid leave while a chief was hired. But this letter sent to me by a police department employee tells a very different story. In the apparent letter signed by Mayor Jim Sawyer, it says, due to pending criminal charges, the recommendation by the grand jury to abolish the police department and recent employee resignations, a reduction in force is in the best interest of the city. All remaining police department employees will receive their last paycheck on March 21st. If the police department is started again, mobile jobs will be posted.
So that
And
shit
the terminated
happened.
employees may apply according to the requirements. This letter comes just hours after the city posted the job
Even people
application
that's
for
not
a new
even
chief
got
of
nothing to do with
police,
this scandal.
and just days after Monday night's meeting where Sheriff
shit
Matt
crazy,
Gentry,
huh?
Coleman
Clean the
County
house.
Sheriff, offered to
He said,
delay
you know what? Don't even clean
reimbursement
house.
for his
Just
deputies
tear down
providing
the whole house.
coverage to Hansville so the city could pay employees who were on administrative leave.
As I was sitting there, there's several employees that didn't do anything wrong that are on administrative leave. And financially,
This is the sheriff from
city's in
the
a
county
position
over,
where
or the
either they
same
pay
county.
us or pay them. And I wanted to take the position, if you want to hire a chief and start the interview process, we'll put any reimbursement off down the road to make sure that those employees that are on administrative leave can be paid, that they can feed their families and be taken care of.
Now, it was noted at the meeting the decision on administrative leave was ultimately up to the mayor. We did reach out to the Coleman County Sheriff's Office to see if this changes coverage to the city of Hansville. We're told the decision to let go of employees will not impact patrols in the city from the Sheriff's Office. I am also told the remaining police department employees were called to a meeting today with the mayor where they were handed their reduction in force letters. I have reached out to the mayor. I have not heard back.
Complete corruption at all finest in any city, big city, small city. We seen it at the right down the street from me and Bogey with the mayor of Oakland, 100% her getting hit with the feds. Now we see it in a small town down south in America. You know what I mean? Straight corruption, bro. From the top of the chief sit at the top of the police department, bro. 100%. That shit crazy, dog. Give me your thoughts.
And you know the mayor too. You never know. He might have cleaned house completely because, you know, said the chief of police usually is hand in hand with the mayor too. You know what I mean?
Oh, they all sit at the city council meeting together.
Right. So, you know, the mayor's just like, you know, I'm just automatically going to assume like this small town shit goes all the way to the top. You know what I mean?
I mean,
clean house.
The less money they get paid, the more prone they is to corruption. The more money they get paid, the more they held to a certain standard, and the less they are prone to corruption. You know what I'm saying? You know, it not to say it can't happen when they get in more money, but it's like, are you willing to risk your whole lifestyle that you maintaining legally with a nice salary, and a nice pension and retirement for a couple, you know, dollars on the side or whatever the hell y'all doing? But see, when they not getting paid no bread like that, that's when the corruption come in. That's why I asked, I was like, how much they get paid?
It's
true. You know what I'm saying?
They got the application. They got the application up on the website for the police chief right now. That's what it said.
Come on, man. You can't even apply for. I mean, you could apply for that in New York, but good luck.
What do you think
know
a
what I
police
mean?
chief makes on a year?
Oh, he
In
up
New
there
York.
with the most paid city officials.
Let me
100%.
see
He
something.
run the police
6
department.
figures after bonuses and stuff.
Oh yeah, and then they match your retirement. Think your retirement is a certain level. You know, the percentage that they put in instead of you putting in 100%, bro.
He said it's not enough.
Hold up. Nah, it depends. It depends, like, because that town only got 3,000 people. Look, the NYPD commissioner, right? His salary is $243,171 a year.
Damn.
Yeah, he probably one of the highest paid city officials.
You know
Him,
what I'm saying?
the fucking city manager. The city manager is the motherfucker that write all the checks and do the budget. 100%.
Chief of police ranges from 110 to 1,000 to 180,000.
Good Lord.
Top earners can make 206.
I was
Deputy mayor,
like a mug. It
look,
was 6 figures, but damn, close to a quarter ticket.
Look, the deputy mayor of public safety, 251,000 a year.
Yeah, our city manager here where I'm at, a few years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, he gave himself a raise, and it would have put him at the highest paid city manager in the state of California, even though we ain't the biggest city, and his shit would have been $400K, 100%.
God damn. I didn't think of that.
And
I forgot about the size of the city matters too.
And he approved his own motherfucking thing. He said, "Oh my mama,
let's go."
But yeah, man, you know them city officials. They get a, you know, like you said, it depends on what city you in and all that. 100%. This was a population of 3,000 people, but when you got motherfuckers cutting a hole in the wall into the evidence room, and like how they said at the end, like, you know, all the evidence that was tampered with, or maybe that even the whole evidence locker room, can't none of that shit be used.
Yeah, you can't use it in any of those cases that those evidences is for.
Definitely not. Definitely not. You know
All
what I
over,
mean?
they're like, fuck it, we're moving it, and then bruh's just using it on the side.
Hey man, you want them to do their job, you gotta pay them more, man. That's just where we at with it, man. You get what you pay for. You pay them $30,000 a year, expect a $30,000 a year police, man. They finna be all up in the evidence locker. They finna be getting high. They doing all that. You know what I
It
mean?
sure was getting high, bruh.
You can't expect these people to risk their life for pennies on the dollar, bro.
They said he had a cocktail in him. Pause.
Yeah, he had
all kind of with that
he had
fence.
Fenty, he had
all the designers.
Yeah, he had something else on that was mixed. I think it was 3 different ones, bro.
Yeah, then they were saying they were giving him antibiotic steroids, so they got the run around all juiced up, doing all kind of other woo wops as well.
Crazy, you know what I mean?
Got it.
Imagine a roided out fucking cop on drugs and shit, on other controlled substances.
He gonna
things of that nature. He just hemming the motherfuckers up in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, and they're probably terrorizing this little town. Everybody probably knows. When you got the chief of police and he's corrupt, that's a scary place. You know what I mean? Everybody.
Oh, here we go, right here. Oh, so that's the Brookside, city of Hartsville, Birmingham. See, all these is in the surrounding area of that city we talking about.
What state that's in?
It's in Alabama.
Alabama, come on, man.
Look, and this city is, they said, it's like 98% Caucasians, and it's like 30.
Man, they thugging out there, man. Like,
hey, they running that whole town, bro.
Police out there, man.
Look, so what it say? So police officer, city of Birmingham, $28 and they max out at $38, damn near 40. City of
ready to get that extra bag.
Police officer, city of Hartsville, $21 and they max out at $25.
Oh, see, give him hey, look, he's ready to do some corruption.
Brookside Police Department police dispatcher.
Ready for all the corruption.
Hey, the police dispatcher only make $13 an hour. That's
Come
it.
on, man. Like
that's
what
why
I
he's getting
told you.
high.
Right.
What I told you. That's why I said, yo, how much they getting paid? How much they getting paid, man?
That always go. Hey, real talk. I was just telling JD, you know what I'm saying? Money is religion, man. Some people, it controls them. And you know what I mean? You ain't making enough. You're gonna start doing
getting no bread, man. They gonna start doing some other shit.
Yeah, that cost of living better be cheaper than a motherfucker out there.
It's cheap, but this is what I be trying to tell, like, because I got a partners from out there, right? This is what I be trying to tell them. I'm like, yo, listen, even if the cost of living is cheap, you know what I'm saying? The minute y'all step outside that city, y'all can't buy shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so it's only good if you live in there. Just because my cost of living is cheap don't mean I don't want to make no money.
Right.
You ain't lying.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, if you don't work, you don't eat. If you don't grind, you don't shine. So you got to have a two-way income, man, on everything. 100%. Now you can put 2 and 2 together, and if you can't, that ain't my fault. But you know what I mean? What I'm talking about, 100%. And it ain't got to be nothing illegal to do the other get the other equation to add to that. 100%, man. Them is facts.
It's just out there.
Right there.
Let me tell you something. Like out there, it's like the cost of living is cheap, and the opportunities is kind of scarce. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
you know, it's kind of scarce out there. So it's like, that's just like even certain towns in Florida be like that. You know what I mean? Where they don't really get paid much to be police and all that. So, you know, they ain't jump in front, no bullet for you. So
talk about it.
They try to get back to the crib. So you know what I mean?
What was it? Ghost Monkey said this is like some Rampart shit. Oh, everything. The Rampart shit is the LA shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Them cops wouldn't be doing all that if they was getting paid bread.
Rampart scandal. I remember that shit. Well, I don't remember it like in real time, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't either. Just watching the documentaries
Yeah,
about
exactly.
that shit, you know what I mean? 100%. They wasn't no good. 100%. And then Pixelot said, wait, the dude's name is Eric Kelso and his wife Donna. What feds and hide? Hide?
Motherfucking the 70s show, bro.
Fucking hey, bro.
Eric and Donna.
Yeah, this probably a story that we'll definitely keep some updates on. You know what I mean? The video
let me tell you something. Not to cut you, right? But them small towns, that's why you got to be careful driving through them small towns, because you think the police held to some higher standard. Nah, they ain't got nothing to lose. All the way lynch your ass. Like,
so I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Look, it says that them officers was harassing the civilians of that town. So they got so in that video that was fucking up on us, it had a video at the city council meeting where the citizens was speaking up on the officers that's got fired, right? So one of the ladies was like, the officers was harassing her sons. Then another, it was an elderly man that said one of the officers used excessive force on him, threw him on the ground, put his knee in his motherfucking back, beat him up, and he got permanent injuries. 100%.
oh yeah, they gonna wash you up.
100%.
They gonna wash you up. Like we not
I'm the law around here.
A whole lot of money to be going through all this. We gonna break your arm. We're gonna put our knee in your back. You know what I'm saying? Like
you down or lay down, like Beanie Siegel said.
We ain't getting no bread like that, man. We'll whoop your ass back here, man. Like
you gotta get down and lay down, man. That's what they were saying to the people of that city, man. That shit is crazy.
I'm telling
that's
you,
crazy too, because that's in today's
but
time.
they making enemies though. That's the thing. You know, you make too many enemies. You know, it'd be hard for you situations like this. The city ain't riding with you. They gonna lock him up.
Yeah, because the mayor
lock him up.
The mayor trying to have no ties with them. The mayor is for everything.
He like, hell nah. He like, who you know? Who?
Right. Yeah, the mayor cleaned. The mayor cleaned house and burnt the house down. Even he's like, no more house.
We don't know them. Who? Nah, we
they
never
had
heard
a
of them.
dope fiend entryway.
Fire
them immediately. Get them up out of here, man.
Bro, a dope fiend entryway for the city employees. what kind of shit is that, bro?
And they got to keep that dispatch. He's working 7 days a week. They're outsourcing. They're like, we only got one dispatch. You're working 24 hours. I got it.
Hey, wasn't it Bad Boys 2 where them motherfuckers hit the police here?
They got all that H.
Or was it the part 1? Was it part 1 or part 2?
Part 1.
Part
They had
1.
him slide the little thing.
They hit the police stash, bro. That shit is crazy. Oh my
God. He's like, do you see what's missing here? Little packs with silver wrapping stacked up by yay high.
Every day.
Yeah, Bad Boys was that shit back in the day.
Facts.
Yeah, that's why, like I said, like you know, you ride through these small towns, man. You gotta be careful, man.
Facts.
Some of these police ain't getting paid no bread like that. They not held to no higher standard. No, they don't care nothing about that. You know what I mean? You make the wrong turn, they all up in your shit. There was a movie about that back in the days.
They need to get that mayor up out of there.
Yeah, there was a movie about
it does remind me of a movie. Was it the Rock movie?
Nah, it was a movie with I think it was Mekhi Phifer in the movie, the one that played the fool. He had made a wrong turn and ended up somewhere in some small town, and he had a bag of money. He had some kind of bread or something like that, and they was trying to steal the money from him or some shit. They was trying to use like bullshit. That movie was fire. I gotta find the name of the movie, man. He got caught up in a whole bunch of crap. You know what I mean? Pulling in the wrong town. You know, at the wrong time, the wrong police.
Shit. Remember, we was just talking about the movie I'm About It. Remember, they got a scene where P and the fake Kev get pulled over, you know what I mean, in Mississippi on their way to the gambling boat, and they pulled him over and took him to jail for nothing.
Oh, you talking about yeah, they got those, and then they got officer friendlies. You know what I'm saying?
Officer friendly.
Oh, that motherfucker said, "Fuck my dope." Oh, everything. They go find little brush shoe shine. That shit fucked up.
Officer friendly, man.
Officer friendlies is in every hood.
Hey, that
gonna have an officer friendly.
That motherfucker. He said, what was Unc's name in the wheelchair on About It? So when he first pulled up and he said, man, I'm looking for Q. They was like, why? What you looking for Q for? He took a shit in my car. You know, everything. But in the wheelchair, and when Friendly pulled up, he was like, man, I still see you.
You haven't lost a step yet.
Oh, everything. That's everything. That's exactly what he said, bro. That shit is crazy. No, my mama. That's my shit, bro.
I see that hella long.
Casey, you a hustling motherfucker. Oh, every time you talk about Mia. Oh, everything. Yeah.
No.
Shit.
They need a Master P need a new documentary on like what happened after No Limit. And like, you know, the ups and downs and to where he at right now. Like
all the way up to the divorce. Because I mean his son even
it's a lot of things went haywire, like
an executive, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, I was listening to a little bit because he had an interview, like somebody had interviewed him, and he was saying like, man, he had put a building in somebody's name. I think one of his family members' name. I don't know if it was on or something like that. And she kept the whole damn building, like, you know what I'm saying, like a whole apartment building, and she kept it.
Damn.
Yeah. Like you know, it's a little murky, like what happened, like after that No Limit joint. You know what I'm saying? He took a fall. I would like to hear about it because I think people can learn from that. Like, you know what I mean?
No, you ain't lying.
Facts. I got
definitely like to hear about that.
Y'all got time for one more topic?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so let me put this on mute real fast, and I'm gonna try and squeeze to where he talks about it at, because we can't use a lot of it. But this is a damn good topic that I want to say for all of us when we was on here. Matter of fact, let me put myself on mute. Myself on mute so I can listen to it, and I'll be right back.
Thinking about that P shit there. I didn't know he gave his wife an apartment building.
Nah, not his wife. I think it was his cousin or one of his aunts or something like that.
Okay, that and then boom, because that's shit. I mean,
They
you know,
kept that joint.
from your family. You know what I mean? Like
That's crazy. Like I was like, yo, that's grimy as hell.
That is.
Yeah,
fucking.
that's crazy.
Here you go. Tell me if y'all can hear this shit.
Yeah.
We'll let it go for about a minute. What is it on 347?
Blocks. And I always come with the independent game.
Yep.
I always pass phone numbers to plugs down south and the East Coast for shit that they need, people that they could do transactions with tangible products, film masters, copyrights, audio masters, Pro Tool sessions. Why are you saying that, JT? Because I know people that'll buy your masters from you, whether you sold some albums or not. There's a group of people that buy masters, and sometimes these street guys, I have their little rappers, and they might have some songs, and I'm like, look, bro, I know y'all do your.
Okay, and so tell me what you thought. And he giving some type of game, you know what I mean? Like how you said about in the podcast game, whether you be a rapper, you know what I mean? You know, if you don't feel like it's going anywhere, or you know what I mean, you just want a quick dollar right now, you can just go ahead and sell your whole catalog like we hear big names doing it. You know what I mean? Give me your thoughts on that shit.
Yeah, like
I
rest
feel
in
like
peace to the Jack. Artists like the Jack, when his name was hot, he could have signed record deals, but like when the projects he put out independently, obviously he paid all out of pocket, but he made all that bread. But then he worked so much, he would just pump out so much volume that these other independent record labels, he would sell them albums. Like, here, boom, I'll sell you 10 tracks, boom, 12 tracks, 50,000. You know what I mean? And then of course, that's essentially selling the masters to this, or the publishing to these songs. Selling the masters, that's different, because now it's like, all right, when you sell the masters, you know what I mean? Are you talking your whole catalog from one point to the next, or to one point to another, or like, you know what I mean? There's levels to it. But then again, if you're not someone like when he says, hey, you can sell your masters and not even sold no records yet, what do you think that person's gonna buy those masters off for you for?
Yo,
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
gonna
bro,
tell
I
you
think you
like
got
this.
some potential. $10,000.
I'm gonna tell you like
that
this.
sounds extra generous. Nobody's buying nobody's fucking masters for shit.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Like, yo, don't miss your shot. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be like I'm cool. You know, independent is cool, but I feel like you gotta get the deal, whether it be a partnership, distribution, something. You gotta get a deal, man. Because you miss your shot, and you'll be trying to like scramble. You know what I'm saying? Independent don't really like it don't really go nowhere if it's not backed by something major. It's not really going nowhere like that. It has to be backed by something major, whether it's distribution or
Yeah, and JT the bigger figure
partnership. Or
JT
I
the
feel like
bigger
he missed
figure,
his shot.
you know,
I
they
feel
have
like
their
listen, listen, hold
up.
up. I respect his hustling skills, but I felt like he missed his shot. You know what I mean? Like
He killed the game with putting out volume. I remember it was like 2003 or whatever. He dropped like the 100th album that he had production on, and that was like a big deal at the time, because you know there's just so many
100 albums
coming out of the Bay that he had his hands on. You know what I mean?
100 albums.
100 that he had produced or executive produced,
go back to
or his artists.
He go back to the late 80s.
100 albums, bro.
Independent.
Come on, man. See this why I be like, yo, listen, man.
Hold on. They're not all
bro.
JT the bigger figure albums. So, like, for example, the reason I
not
know
to
this is
him,
because
to get the deal. Because you don't want to be like in that business like crumb snatching, bro. Like, just get the deal. You know what I'm saying?
You know, he got a famous story about the game, right? So, you know, the game traveled up north before he got big, or around the time he was starting to get big. And JT got a lot of the songs that was like some of this famous shit that
he did a whole album. He did.
I have that album. I
And
know
he
what
said,
you're talking about.
but the game, I mean, but JT
It was
said
the game.
he said that he could have made
Or was the game.
5 million or whatever he said he could have
Hold
made.
up, I can't hear both of y'all. I can't hear both of y'all.
He only got 500,000 for it. He said if he would have held on to it, he probably could have got more, but he off that shit for 500,000 because he, why sit on it? You know, I mean, that's what he was saying. But that just shows that he's been, he been around and has
He
had.
probably didn't think that the game would blow up to be even bigger.
How you not gonna think that, bro? Like you sold yourself short.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That could have been a crazy layup. I remember when Wack was on Clubhouse and he was telling him like, yo, you could have got money off the back end and the front end. You know what I'm saying? You could have got way more money off of that with what you sold it for. You know what I mean? But
yeah, he was tripping for that
I'm gonna tell you like this though. I'm gonna tell you like this though. Like when you anything you doing, man, you want to like try to take it to a major level, man, because you don't want to be out here crumb snatching, bro. Because I feel like if you're just making music just to sell your masses, bro, you crumb snatching, bro. Like let's keep it a buck, man. You know what I mean? You don't make music
when he uses
to sell it off if it's worth something. You want to get the residuals off of that to keep you paid for years to come, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why would you make music just to sell off the masters? That's like crumb snatching, bro.
He probably sold those masters before the streaming era too, which was crazy because you know what I mean. I don't think he
could have been making bread off that. But like I said, when you sell yourself,
independently would have saw the streaming thing coming from a mile away.
Yeah, but when you sell yourself short, you know what I mean. That's what happens, man. You miss out on long paper selling yourself short.
So analogy that I got, and please forgive me, is that I know, sometimes you might get some bad work, you know what I mean, and the next motherfucker might know how to re-rock it or reflip it, you know what I mean, and turn it into better, or know somebody that might want that shit, you know what I mean. So if the shit is not getting off for you at the moment, I understand if somebody believe in it and you need to get the dough right now in order to keep funding what you got going on 100%, you know what I mean? 100%, you like Bog said with the volume that JT has showed people, you know what I mean? If you just keep putting out projects and projects and projects and the shit ain't going nowhere, especially if you trying to get it streaming and all that, and the hard copies ain't selling, or you ain't out really just trying to push your shit through the streets physically and start getting your buzz out there, you know what I mean? I understand why somebody would do that 100%.
See, but I'm gonna tell you something though, right? I understand why, like Jay, like I respect his hustle. Don't get it twisted. Like I understand why he do what he do. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like there's a reason why, like artists or people just in general, like they partner up with other companies that's bigger than them or more major than them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more money to make in the overall. You feel me? Like when you're trying to take something major off the ground and you ain't got major funding, that shit ain't going nowhere. You're gonna end up having to sell that shit short because you ain't got the resources to take that joint. Even if it has the potential, you ain't got the resources to take that to another level. So now you got to sell it for less than what it's worth in order to cash out without you losing nothing. You know what I mean? That's why people do partnerships. And you know what I'm saying? Like independent is cool, but you still have to be smart enough to say, yo, if somebody come with the right deal, with the right partnership, let's partner up. Let's do business. If they got the funding.
360 to get in the game?
Huh?
Would you take a 360 to get in the game?
A 360 to get in the game? It depends on what the deal is set up like. I'm not gonna say no to a 360 just because it's a 360. It depends. I want to read the contract and see exactly what it is. Maybe I can make some adjustments in there and negotiate some things in there to make that deal more beneficial for me.
360 is crazy though, because it's like what a lot of majority of those 360 deals entails that like you could get a deal after the fact, or not after the fact, outside of this company. Like say you get an endorsement deal, they get a piece of that too. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you could partner up with a company and make millions, or you could scream independent and be broke. You know what I'm saying? Like you could scream independent and be broke, because I don't see I like yo. Some of your biggest artists right now are in those type of deals, but they making more money than somebody who claiming they independent, ain't touched 7 figures yet. Been in the game about 15, 20 years. You see what I'm saying? So what? Like I'd rather be partnered up on a block that's clocking $10 million a day than to be out here trying to scrape up $1 million every other day.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen Future recently just off his shit. You know what I mean? All his old shit to go ahead and get the upfront bag. You know what I mean?
Okay, but his stuff has value.
Exactly.
Like 75 million or something like that.
Look,
I'm worried about the back end on what he just sold though.
You said what? Hold on, I can't hear both of y'all.
Dropped
I can't hear both of y'all.
He dropped those 2 albums with Metro. You know what I mean? Back to back. And then those were all his now. For everything from like January 2024 and on was his, because I think he sold like sometime December.
Yeah, on everything.
Of 23.
But what you was trying to say, JD?
I forgot now.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like y'all gotta like talk one at a time, so I can really, because I can't hear when both of y'all talking at the same time. But look,
sometimes it happen like that.
Yeah, but look, like at the end of the day, like with Future, like you gotta have somebody like evaluate what's worth. Like okay, how much is your joint gonna be worth 10 years from now? You know, somebody do an evaluation on your masters to see like, okay, how much is your joint gonna be worth 5 years, 10 years from now? What is the projected, et cetera, et cetera? You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's like, you know, if they say, okay, well, you should sell it now because your value might not be that much for 10 years down the line, then the hell with it. Sell it now. Get as much as you can for it right now. But we talking about Future. Future already then dealt with the labels and built his value up to where he can sell his masters for 100 million, 75 million, all that. You see what I'm saying? If you keep screaming independent and you ain't backed by nothing major, you ain't really made no major moves, you're not selling your stuff for that much, bro. Your stuff, your value is not going to be of a level of a Future, or you know what I'm saying? It's just like a dude like Tech Nine. Like Tech Nine was signed with Strange Music, then he went independent. You feel me? You gotta have that. You gotta have that push from somebody major, man, to get on a major level, to where you can like touch more people, like maybe people around the world and shit like that. You know what I mean? And then, you know, if you decide you want to go independent after that, or you know, whatever, you know, your value's up there. But you can't scream independent all the way through and think you're never gonna hit that peak. You're gonna be crumb snatching your whole career. But that's a whole nother,
I got a damn good analogy for what you're saying too, though. 100% of nothing is nothing, but 50% of 100% is 50%. You know what I mean? It's something. 100%. I definitely agree with that. You know what I mean? But also in the same case too, though, like with the motherfuckers that's really not, you know, really pushing no numbers and shit like that, and don't want to have to do a 9 to 5 to further their career, or, you know what I mean, don't want to have to do no weird stuff in order to further their career, and they could just live in the booth if that's what they trying to pursue. You know what I mean? I understand it 100%. And then also, I've seen motherfuckers that also have been, you know, just typical, you know what I mean, your rallies from your neighborhood, your community, you know what I mean, do get a buzz. They buzz just happen to lead just to a distribution deal, you know what I mean, to help further get your shit out. And even though you might not be across the Mississippi, but you got this whole other market over here where it's multiple states, you know,
concentrated markets.
Also, and that's also how, you know, you build up your motherfucking independent shit in order to get that that management from a Rock Nation, or that management from a Young Money Management, or whatever, you know what I mean? That also
and then they go get you a good deal.
I mean, 100%. So,
but see, we always this is one of our great debates here: the independents versus the majors. But like, one thing I agree, I always agree with both sides. But at the same time, I like Slim's point when he says, if you're independent, you should be striving to get a deal. You know what I mean? Like because that's when, like, being independent, you got to pay everything. When you get a deal, obviously, it's because you might have a buzz worth enough that somebody's going to give you some millions of dollars. Yeah, I mean?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
like
that should be the end
thing,
goal.
like someone like the Jack, he said he never signed a deal because they were never going to give him no real money because he was already making that off the independent. But he's a special case because when he sold like his albums, I mean, when he put out his albums, them things was going gold. You know what I mean?
Okay, but let's keep it a buck.
That's
Right?
That's a couple million. You know what I mean?
How did the Jacker die?
He got shot because he's in the hood, no security.
In the hood, no security.
Yeah.
You still in the
Shooting
trenches.
video. And then the video
that's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, like if you would have been successful, you probably wouldn't have been in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Get the deal. You know what I mean? Just make sure that you can use that money for an entertainment lawyer. Get you an entertainment lawyer and try to negotiate something a little more decent for yourself. But get the deal, man. Because if you do this independent stuff all the way out through, you're gonna be living sideways, man, to try to fund that shit, man.
Yeah, we got both instances where, you know what I mean, where motherfuckers have made it to a national level, maybe even
and never dealt with no major.
No, but what
about Sauce? Would you say Sauce is that guy for this era?
Man, look at Sauce. Look at what Sauce going through, man. They still trying to blick him down.
See, that's
I'm not trying to make light of it. He did just get shot.
But see, that's the point that I was finna say is that we've seen independent artists that have, to tie it back to the Jack, may the Jack rest in peace, and everybody else that I'm finna mention, may they rest in peace. But you know what I mean? We have seen independent artists that have stayed independent and got that spotlight that have passed away. You know what I mean? Then we also seen motherfuckers that have been independent and have made it to, national and global status and also has passed away. The shit is unfortunate.
How many though?
Independently, like probably the most consistent on a major level, but even back then, yeah, of course he had major distribution, even though they were doing everything else themselves.
Major distribution.
How many though? How many independent artists can you say right now? Can you name 5?
To that what?
That's successful.
Well, Sauce has been independent for a lot of his career.
Yeah, okay, well, Tech and Sauce. Right?
Saying
let's say technically check this out. Kanye West, because his last album was
Kanye West ain't independent. Hell no.
His last album was put out independently.
Kanye West is not independent.
The one that he did with
I'm talking about never dealt with a major.
Okay, yeah. I was trying to find a cheat code.
Go like
okay, so never had a major deal. That's
you can go Filthy
right there.
Filthy has made a good career for itself. Say what you want to say about Filthy. Filthy has made a good career for itself. 100%. He got a whole bunch of projects.
I mean, but he was signed up under M, and they were signed up under Interscope, which was Universal.
Okay.
Oh, I said Filthy Rich.
Oh, Filthy Rich. Oh, word. Okay.
Filthy Rich.
Was he signed to anybody major?
Oh no. He got the same story. He got the same story as Sauce when the same Rock Nation like tapped in and wanted to take the whole backlog of the catalog. Sauce and Filthy say the same thing about.
Yeah, Filthy Rich. He almost got in there with Rock Nation.
Oh yeah, it's on YouTube. He talks about it. You
Filthy.
That Filthy talked about that.
Yeah, and then you know what? They might have got him up out of there. Remember, he was beefing with allegedly with Kafani and them.
Oh yeah, that was hella long ago.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah.
I think what's his name?
I mean,
all right, so you got 2.
When like that though, like I said, when like a Filthy Rich before Sauce is a household name, they lock down that region, and when you lock down a region, it's multiple states, or when you in a hella big state, you know what I mean, then you got the whole, you know what I mean, the east west part of the state, the up down part of the state, and if you do lock down like that type of shit, that's how you get them.
I started a bunch of examples, like, and then one of them popped up as Nipsey. I'm like, oh, he's dead. And then
Nipsey was not independent.
So many dead examples.
Nipsey was not independent. Nipsey signed the deal.
Well, I mean,
He signed the
when I
deal.
first heard Nipsey like in 2010, yeah, all them early tapes and stuff. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Nipsey signed the deal. He got some type of exposure through that deal.
Was the Victory Lap the only major album?
Was he on Universal or Republic or what?
He had the Marathon and he had the Crenshaw album.
So the Crenshaw album is that the 100?
Oh, okay, Young Thug. How long's Young Thug been independent?
Oh, Young Thug is not in the Young Thug. He dealt with majors.
He got a famous.
Oh no, he was Universal.
He dealt with majors.
He got
dealt with Leor.
You're right.
He dealt with Leor.
Famous story about Leor signing the 300. That's right. With the 360 shit with that though.
Just he was able to get up out of that because Leor sold 300.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He already had the exposure that he needed from Lee, and then he had exposure from Cash Money. He did an album with Cash Money.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Yeah, so we're not talking about that. This is what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, how many artists that you know that are independent that never dealt with a major that's successful? It's not too many.
300 at Atlantic?
Huh?
What was 300 a sub of Atlantic?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Or something like that.
You know what's the sad part about this whole thing? The argument nowadays is because man, the majors they all slimmed down now.
Because you know what? At the end of the day, like I heard Jermaine Dupri questioning the same thing. He said, "Okay, you independent for what? To do what?" And it, like when people reply, and he'd be like, "Okay," and he'll question them because it's like.
Yeah. I mean,
the argument, here's
the thing:
not making no sense.
Say the argument is okay. I get $17 out of 20, and then a major label artist gonna get
you sell like 10 albums.
But then at the same time, it's like how much money?
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I get all my money, but you sold like 10 albums though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, and if you came out of pocket for all this inventory,
you'd pay all this money to sell 10 albums and say that you got all your money.
It could be like say you do you're doing them, what do they call them? When you do bundles and shit, you know what I mean? Like, you'll know how many sold by how many bundles, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers they go broke independently, get all these bundles, no one buys them. Yeah.
Bro, give me a major label and give me $1. What is it? $1 a record. Record selling for $10. I sell 1 million of bitches. I make $1 million. You know what I'm saying? The label make 9 million, but I can walk off with my milli, and I got major exposure, things that can help me if I do decide to go independent. It can help me in a major way. I'm tapping world markets. I'm going on world tours and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? All those things count. You don't get that as an independent artist. Ain't no independent artist taking world tours.
Think about it. Then Gucci gets locked up. They just release him. They just release Young Thug. Then he gets the Cash Money that let him walk to. Good morning. Same thing with 300. They let him walk because man, like a lot of those things. Look at the game. He was the game, or now he's game, or the other way around. Either way, because once someone owns your shit, you got to buy it back at one point.
Hey, the game is overseas right now. They just had a viral video of him about to man.
But look at what the game did though. The game signed with Aftermath G Unit, right? And he got exposed to those world markets, those markets around the world. So he could go on tours and tour forever, damn near. You know what I mean? And then his music has value because he's he made good music. That
nigga can really rap. He can really rap.
He can really rap. He makes good music. So he's not touring garbage. You know what I'm saying? But the main thing is he had that exposure. He was signed to Aftermath, G Unit, you know what I'm saying? He was around these guys, especially when he was rolling with G Unit, Interscope, all that. He was able to go on tour, do some things. Then he came back out on his own. I don't know who he had signed with at that time after the G Unit situation, but he was still dropping albums. He was still doing his thing. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you have to deal with a major if you're trying to get somewhere in that game. Even in the podcast game. You know what I'm saying? You got dudes in the game that's like they talk about, oh, well, these people interview people I interviewed already. Yeah, but you ain't interview them on the level they on. they might did a partnership that could take that interview to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Or I may have did this before this person. Yeah, but they made the right partnership, or they connected with the right people to put their shit on a major level. You see what I'm saying? Even if you did it first, we don't care who did it first. If it's working for us, it's working for us, right?
No,
So
that's just like Uncle Shay when he got the Cat Williams shit. You know what I mean? All them big podcasts was hating on him because he the one that ran it up the most.
yeah, but you can't knock the Shay joint, because at the end of the day, it's like that's the power of first of all, his work was already put in. That's number one. He put in his work on a whole nother lane. You feel me? He could talk sports all day long.
Talk about it.
You see what I'm saying? So his work was already put in, but it's the exposure he already had from what he did before. He connected with a major, and now he's able to branch out independently and go do his thing. That's how things work. I don't know why people be trying to think like it works some other type of way. Like, y'all can go ahead and try to defy gravity, man. Like, go ahead, man.
Hey, let Terrence Howard talk about it. It ain't no gravity, or it's some old bullshit.
Yeah. 1 + 1 don't equal 2, right?
Come on, man.
Yeah, please. But you know what I'm saying? Like, people be trying to defy gravity, and it's like, yo, bro, just do it the way that it's proven to work. Why you keep trying to go around it? Do it the way that it's proven to work. Build up a brand, build up a name, you know, whether it be music, podcast, whatever, and then try to network to get to some major people and get it put out there on a major level. You know what I'm saying? It's just like if somebody came to us and said, yo, listen, we want 30% of A, B, C, and D, but we about to get y'all a full out studio, you know what I'm saying? High price equipment. We about to put y'all in a crowd of people, you know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all doing podcast tours and all that. Why would you not take that deal? Upfront decent, you know what I mean? Your residuals that you're making off of it is decent. Your show money gonna be crazy. Why not? Or you want to sit on there talking about this is all mines. This is all mines. But you making 5,000, 10,000 a month when you could be making 100 grand a month or 50,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, like I said, the 100% of nothing is nothing. 50% of 100 is 50%. But the key word, like you said, though, in my thing is build the brand. 100%.
Yeah, build the brand. If you're gonna put money in anything, you know, because we all start off independent. You know what I'm saying? But you want to be able to, you know, you want to have a company that you could be codependent with. Where they depending on you to produce, you depending on them to provide that funding or whatever else they provide in marketing, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying?
Get that shit pushed out to the masses.
To the masses. You're not gonna touch the masses if you don't touch a major, because the major is the one that, you know.
And for everybody out there watching, give Bogard scot-free a major deal. I'm gonna get my entertainment lawyer. I'm gonna have Slim. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have Slim overlook it too. You know what I mean?
Come on now.
I'm trying to get a deal.
I'm just saying, don't be independent forever, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to JT. One thing I can say is that he's a survivor in this game. He know how to survive this moment. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to just jump to selling your masters, and you might be actually talented. Your music might have value. You just might have to get the right producers, you know what I'm saying, or the right, you know, people or whatever to get it, you know, to get it sounded right. Don't just sell yourself short, man. You know what I mean? Like, don't just sell yourself short, because your joint might be worth way more than people offering you, man.
And if you ever run into JT, the bigger figure, he might be trying to buy your masters for the low. Don't do it.
Every time.
Hey, yo, look, Leon Blood, you got talent.
Oh, my mama.
Yeah. JT, the bigger figure, that's part of my childhood. The Get Low Records. I really fucked with San Quinn. San Quinn was the guy.
Oh, my mama. Shit, man. Let the people know where they can find you at, Bo.
Shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Apple, Spotify, anywhere you consume your music. Just search Bogard scot-free. And you can find me on Instagram, all one word, GenWealthNet _. And check us out on YouTube, GenWealthNet. We counting down to the draft, man.
Yes, sir.
And wake your game up tomorrow morning on the GenWealthNet on YouTube. And back again for OJ on Wednesday and Thursday. Let's go.
Getting it. Slim, talk to the people, big bruh. You on mute, Brody.
I was about to say.
From a fan's perspective, on YouTube, episode 17 dropping tonight. Well, tomorrow. I'm doing it tonight. Let me see what else. I got some other projects I'm working on, you know. Y'all go see, just tune into the channel, man. Y'all might see something y'all like. You feel me? Boogie Vision on Instagram.
Let's go.
On mama, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning, man. 100%. And be make sure you click the bell on Big Bro shit. That way you know when episode 17 drop, man. Click the bell on all these motherfucking platforms.
You already
man.
know. But I know why people don't be wanting to click that notification bell, because it notificates all the podcasts. All the stuff you following. You know what I mean? So a subscribe, a like, comment, share, you know, that'll work too. You heard?
My mama.
You heard.
We'll see y'all later, man.
Peace.
Talk about it, man.
Yo.
Eureka. We make plays every day, yeah. We make plays every day, yeah. We make plays every day, yeah. We make plays.